Good evening. Jim Blaine lives in the woods in rural North Carolina. He is slightly balding, can be testy, and is not getting thinner. Has been known to argue and has at least one opinion on everything. Jim thinks he can dance, but he really can't. He likes most people and all dogs. He's a graduate of UNC Chapel Hill, holds an MBA from Duke University, and is also a CPA in acting. Jim worked with the State Employees Credit Union and while employed, served unsuccessfully on numerous boards and committees. Much to his relief and to the relief of his fellow committee colleagues, he was rarely reelected and never reappointed. Jim has been married to Jean Burdette Blaine for 45 years. Jean is an individual of exceptional patience. They have 5 adult children: Jim, Eleanor, Sarah, Thomas, and Mary, and a small swarm of grandchildren. His grandchildren call him Sweet Baby, but they're still too young to know better. He currently tends chickens and raises daffodils while retaining an active interest in provocation and inspiration. He is developing a fondness for champagne. As you know, by listening to my reading the biography that Jim provided for this evening, he doesn't take himself too seriously and he has a great sense of humor. Jim spent 43 years at SCCU, 37 years as president. Over those years, he became one of the foundations upon which our credit union was built. He put in place our do the right thing vision, our send us your mama mission, and the credit union philosophy of people helping people. You wouldn't send your mama to a group that you didn't trust. And our board and employees are constantly working to maintain that trust. Our philosophy, principles, products, and services are all focused on improving the lives of our members. The goal is to serve all members, including the underserved in our communities, and to share the benefits of membership with all members. Under Jim's leadership, we instituted and continue to offer today many unique products which level the playing field and bring benefits to those of means and low wealth families looking for fair, reasonably priced products and services. We don't tier our deposit interest rates. All members get the highest and best rate, regardless of whether they have $25 or $2.5 million. We don't risk-based price our loans using credit scores. All members get the same low rates based on the term of the loan or the loan to value. If you have a credit score of 800 and I have a score of 600, we both get the same rate. We offer 100% loan to value first mortgage loans and 102% first-time homebuyer loans with no private mortgage insurance premiums. We provide low-cost, no-fee salary advance loans with a savings component which help break the cycle of predatory payday lending. We offer a low-cost income tax preparation and filing service, financial counseling, and many other products and services to benefit our members. Under Jim's leadership, we helped create and continue supporting today the Latino Community Credit Union, which was formed because individuals were being physically harmed and preyed upon through robberies and home invasions because of the lack of a trusted financial institution in this community. We also helped save and transform one of the last African-American credit unions in North Carolina, Greater Kinston Credit Union, which was in regulatory conservatorship. Today, it is a financially healthy credit union serving its members, and we continue to provide support and assistance. Finally, under Jim's leadership, the SCCU Foundation was created. The foundation is funded by members with checking accounts who donate the $1 monthly checking service fee to the foundation. Today, $1.5 million per month is donated. Over the past 17 years, a total of $215 million has been raised and invested in North Carolina in many high-impact projects in the areas of education, housing, healthcare, and human services. Projects like community college and university scholarships, affordable housing, SECU family houses, cancer centers, veterans and teachers housing, youth crisis centers, hospice houses, major COVID-19 relief grants, and the North Carolina Freedom Park, which will recognize and educate the public on the historical contributions and struggles of African Americans in North Carolina. These projects and many others educate and improve the lives of our people and benefit the underserved in many communities across our state. Jim Blaine helped set the keystones for our philosophy, products, and services, and member-focused culture. We serve the underserved in our membership and help them build wealth through home ownership and fairly priced and designed products and services. Jim left a legacy of serving his fellow man and providing a hand up to the underserved. Our members and our membership are better off because of his compassion, leadership, and example. His legacy lives on today at SECU. Jim, on behalf of the AACUC, it is my privilege to present you with this recognition and congratulate you on your induction into the African American Credit Union Hall of Fame. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Mike. The first thing I need to say is I am truly grateful to the African American Credit Union Coalition for this honor. And I'd like to thank the board of directors, and Renee Satty White and her staff, particularly Grace Sanchez and Andrea Finley, who helped me with the technical development of this program. And Andreas hung in there even while her baby was crying in the background. The African American Credit Union Coalition is a remarkably successful organization and on the rise. I've known many of its leaders for a lifetime and have often sought and occasionally heeded their counsel and advice. We have always shared a common bond. And that common bond was a convinced belief in credit unions. My life is centered around my family, my wife, Jean, and credit unions. Why credit unions? Because I could never accept that in America, those who have the least should always be required to pay the most for financial services. I believe that credit unions were created to correct that injustice. In the words of Thomas Paine, a true revolutionary in all respects, he said, "I have always objected to wealth achieved through the misery and misfortune of others." That economic injustice continues to thrive today in our financial system. Credit unions remain the alternative, the best hope, the answer to solving. We all confront in uncertain times. It's an uncertain future. Many folks would like to rewrite the past, but you and I know we can't change the past. But if we have credit union leaders with integrity, courage, and character, we most certainly can reshape the future. But that's very, very hard work. Changing the future requires a lot of pushing and shoving. Arthur Ashe, the great American tennis player, described the credit unions we need. He said, true credit union leadership is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost. It's not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost. Credit union leadership is the urge to serve all others at whatever cost. But a word of caution as we look to the future and choose our new leaders. And I'm certainly the African American Credit Union Coalition will be in the forefront of helping us do that. Let's make sure that diversity, equity, and inclusion is not a false guide. It's not a false prophet. Can we really tell how diverse a credit union is by looking at the faces of our boards and our leaders? Choosing our leaders based on their race, their gender, their age is the old way. More of the same old stuff. We need a new way for credit union. And the new way is to judge people, judge our leaders, not by how they look, but how they think and how they feel, and if they're of a good heart. As a famous preacher once said, I think his name was King, hopefully my children and future credit union leaders will be chosen by the content and judged by the content of their character. Let's truly diversify and choose leaders based on the content of their character. That's more complex. That's more difficult. That requires more discussion. But it's worth it because that is our future. And I'm counting on the African American Credit Union Coalition to show us the way on that. And by the way, you want to start a small revolution along that line, picking people based on the content of their character. The next time you are given a form, one of those forms to fill out, when you get down to the race question, skip on down to other and just write in human. And of course, when you get to the gender and sex question, skip on down below male and female and just write yes. Thank you again for this honor. I look forward to working with you in the future. As Patrick said, and as Hubert Hoosman said, upward and onward for all of us. Thanks for this great honor.